You all right there, mate?
I'm Richardsoning a bit, but I'm going to cover it.
It's all right, mate. Don't worry about it. Happens to the best of us. Welcome to the GCN Show. Coming up, we discuss so-called bed doping, and we also catch up with the latest batch of Tour de France contenders who show their cards before July.
Plus, we've got a great Tech of the Week, a roundup of the AVIVA Women's Tour, and our usual fantastic features.
It's fantastic.
It's going to be. I can tell already. Team Sky made headlines at the Giro d'Italia this year, not necessarily for their racing, but more for the new marginal gain that they uncovered and found a way around. Ready for it?
Rubbish hotels and packing and unpacking kit bags every day. The fix was to buy a giant luxury RV for team leader at the Giro, Richie Porte, to stay in, dubbed the Porter Cabin. Now, the reason for it is as simple as this. More sleep equals better recovery. Having an RV helps you get more sleep. Straightforward.
And presumably, it's so much better that the UCI have already banned it. That's right, if I grab my laptop, UCI Regulation 2.2.010 now states that in all road stage races, riders must stay in the hotels provided by the organiser throughout the entire duration of the race. The reasoning behind it is to reaffirm absolute fairness between the riders.
And presumably as a side benefit, it cuts down on extramarital affairs as well. So, yeah. Anyway, this has undoubtedly caused something of a stir, and unexpectedly perhaps, is Chris Froome who's most cross. He's taken to Twitter to show his frustration. He said, underneath a nice picture of a bed on a floor, throwback Friday to that time I slept on the floor at the Tour de France. More of that this year. Good going at UCI Cycling, #progress.
And Cannondale Garmin's Joe Dombrowski also had a take on it, sharing this photo of Alex Howes, Tour de Suisse roommate at Alex Howes, seen here sleeping on the floor, wishing he had his RV. Too bad they're banned.
You know what though, actually, it has to be said, I completely agree with the UCI for this. I don't think that riders on the wealthiest teams should have an advantage over those on poorer teams. And this, if it's anywhere near as big an advantage as Team Sky seems to think it is, then that's just not fair. And admittedly, I don't think it's good if riders have to sleep on the floor in hotels, but the only way that it's going to be fair is if all riders end up staying in similar hotels.
Or similar RVs. But what do you think? Should RVs be allowed, or is it actually bed doping? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Now, in its second year, the AVIVA Women's Tour in the UK is already something of a firm favourite in the peloton due to its fantastic roadside support. Stage 1 was won by Lizzie Armitstead, but her joy turned to agony as just a few metres after the finish line, she took a nasty crash.
Yeah, Lizzie hasn't actually said what happened just yet, but from looking at the footage, it looks very much as though, as Lizzie had her hands off the bars, a gust of wind caught her bike, causing her to veer into the photographers who, it must be said, were in the same place they are every race. And there were a few really worrying minutes where Lizzie was on a spinal board, motionless and carried into a waiting ambulance. But fortunately, there are no broken bones, though we do wish Lizzie very speedy recovery.
Absolutely, we do, yeah. Back to the racing though, and it was Lisa Brennauer who proved the strongest after a very, very tense 5 days of racing. She won one stage and then took the overall ahead of Will Honda's Jolien D'Or and Christine Mejerus of Bolstolmans. After last week's tech bonanza, this week has unsurprisingly been a little bit quieter, but details have been emerging of Cannondale's very intriguing new bike, the Slate.
Yeah, when we first saw photos of this one at the back end of last year, it basically looked like a cyclocross bike with suspension grafted onto it. And for me, part of the beauty of a cross bike is that it's just a really simple tool for riding across all terrain. So based on that image, I wasn't quite so sure about it.
A great website, theradovitz.com, has possibly got the most amount of information on this bike, including the fact that it's got 650B wheels, so that's a rim with a slightly smaller diameter than normal, but with much bigger tyres on, meaning that the circumference stays relatively similar to your normal road bike. The geometry can stay really nice and tight, but you get security and protection of bigger tyres. So you can really throw this road bike around, / gravel bike, as you can see Tim Johnson doing right now. Looking forward to riding that, actually.
Yeah, throws back to Tomac in the mid-90s as well.
It does. Looking forward to riding it even more now. That's quality.
Yeah. Last week we spoke about the Bianchi Specialissima, or the most special, and we were wondering where they could go from that with the name.
Fortunately, Matt Baldwater, has stepped in the comments section with a suggested anagram. So Bianchi could obviously go like Trek have done. Salamis are epic.
Salamis is epic.
Oh yeah, no, so it doesn't quite work. Time for caption of the week now. Last week we gave you this photo of Rui Costa pointing to his biceps, and the winner is Alan Groy with this excellent caption. I think you'll find. Tom, you probably want to help me out with this a bit to give it a bit more flair. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here's my handle, here's my spout. Brilliant. On so many levels, Alan. Get in touch and we will send you some GCN swag.
This week, it's Peter Sagan down to his bibs again. Si, care to have a go?
Sagan couldn't help but think that at times this season, the odds have really been stacked against him.
Yes, strong effort, but if you feel that you can beat it, leave your captions in the comments down below. 9 days of very hard racing at the Tour de Suisse saw several Tour de France favourites go head to head. Standouts for us has to be Peter Sagan's 2 stage wins, and French climber Thibaut Pinot looked incredibly strong as he soloed stage victory on stage 5, which also saw him take the overall leader's jersey. Yeah, he is looking really, really good on the climbs, but with the Tour de France in mind, it was his Achilles heel of time trialling that saw him toppled by Simon Spielek of Katusha. He had just enough strength left when he got on the podium to lift what is probably the biggest trophy ever seen at a bike race. Look at that. He's going to need a bigger mantelpiece for that one, Si.
Yeah, he is. Or maybe he could make it into like a stool. It looks like a stool.
Very high stool.
Yeah.
Anyway, Geraint Thomas of Sky was left wondering what might have been as he was just 5 seconds behind Spielak on the overall. He took to Twitter with this. Proper so close yet so far. Gutted, but that's bike racing, hey? Thanks for your support this week.
Yeah, 5 seconds is kind of the margin of defeat that it's quite difficult to get over, actually. But then, when we said that, shoulda, woulda, coulda, last words of a fool.
You a Beverly Knight fan?
Comment of the week now, and this one really jumped out at us from underneath the GCN versus Jens Vogt video. Now, Jim has said this needs to be a regular feature with GCN and pros or ex-pros using the format. Get Lance Armstrong on it. Smiley face. A GCN leaderboard would be great. Well, it's quite a good idea, actually.
Clearly you all agree, because it's got 46 thumbs up. And Rubinho BT weighed in with this. Watching Simon talk in the half-speed setting is nothing short of mesmerising. It's going to replace my whale song CDs for when I want to relax.
Interesting fact, you know, I used to record whale song CDs just after I retired from pro cycling. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do in my life. Sounds like an excellent plan. So, what about the final shakedown then for the last 2 Tour de France contenders? Contador versus Quintana at the Rue de Sud.
Yeah, Contador had made it very well known before the race that he just wasn't fully recovered from his efforts at the Giro d'Italia, but he promptly went on to win the Queen stage and take the overall victory. He's still playing down his chances though, which is just not like him at all.
Not like him at all. So the 2 riders did seem really evenly matched over the Porte de Balaise, which was the last major climb on the Queen stage. Contador then dropped like a stone, eking out quite a significant advantage over Quintana on the descent to take the stage and the overall victory.
Yeah, Quintana later said in a press release that he just wasn't keen to take any risks ahead of the Tour, and I think we can believe him on that because based on his performance at the Giro last year, we can see he's clearly not afraid of a dodgy descent.
Yeah, too right there, mate. So what, these last pre-Tour de France tune-up races, the Dauphiné, Suisse and Route de Sud, they are making it really, really difficult to pick a clear contender for the Tour de France. And it's actually shaping up to be one of the best Tour de France since, I don't know, 2014? No, I'm being facetious there. This actually does really look like a vintage Tour on the cards.
Yeah, and if you want to find out who not to put your money on, you better tune into our Tour de France preview show. Coming soon.
Absolutely. Will Vincenzo Nibali make the podium? Tweet of the week now, and this week it is a first for GCN. We have a tweet from Daniel Lloyd.
Yeah, we know that a few of you had been missing your Lloydie fix in the GCN show of late, so we thought why not feature one of his excellent tweets?
Absolutely. Daniel Lloyd 1 says, pavé in first week of TWEETY could take out some GC riders. Why not put them on the penultimate day? Could throw up some last minute excitement, exclamation mark. You know what, that is actually a very good point from Lloydie. What do you think? Pavé on the last penultimate day of the Tour de France? That'd be pretty good. As ever, we will leave you with Extreme Corner. This week it is Antoine Bizet's incredible run from the 26 Tricks competition in Leergang, Austria.
Antoine's dropping in now, first jump, let's see what you can do. Wow, a huge cash roll, perfectly landed, that was sick. A few pedals into a back flick X up on the second. Round the berm now. Wow, a double flip, that was sick, followed by a corked out 720, or was that a 360 flip? I'm not sure. Little bar spin on the hip. What can he do? A fronty tuck no-hander, not the biggest extension, but that run as a whole was gnarly, dude.
Well, I tell you what, I thought his skid was pretty impressive at the end. That was well good.
Definitely kind of, I like to see tricks that I can go out and replicate.
Right on.
Well, Antoine didn't actually look like he'd watched Dan's video and taken any of these tips, but if you'd like to set your bike up like a road pro, click right there.
I'm not sure Dan really did that video with Antoine in mind, but it might benefit from it, I guess. Another video that probably won't benefit Antoine, but will definitely benefit, I'm sure, most of you, is how to improve your FTP. We actually filmed that with the help of Alexis Ryan, who's a pro with the UAC team. Alexis finished 8th in the AVIVA Women's Tour the other day, so congratulations to you. That was a great ride. Anyway, you can get through to that video, just clicking down there.
Should we low-fied to celebrate Alexis's result?
I would, but I don't want to clumsily flirt with you as well, Tom.
And if you'd like to see all of our content, just click on me or Si and subscribe to GCN.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? What an appealing prospect, clicking on us.
So appealing. Bet they can't wait to click on us.
They probably already have done, mate.
If you're still waiting, you should click on us now.
Are you clicked yet?
Have you subscribed to GCN? If not, click on him.